All right, so it is like 7 hours after I recorded the part that you're about to see, but all I did was talk about the hands and display him with a couple of Forbidden Figurines title belts, the NWA title, the GCW title, and the Internet Championship, which I will get into later in the video. But the first part of the video corrupted, and this is one of my more in-depth reviews, I would feel. So the only thing you missed is that he comes with two splayed out open hands, comes with two fisted hands, comes with two weapon holding, mic holding hands, and he comes with the middle finger, which you saw in the thumbnail. And if you really want to see a better picture, it's going to be up on my Instagram today. So don't click off the video. It's going to be very informative. Just please stick around. I promise you it's going to be worth it. Thank you. He comes with a fisted hand for the other side as well. It was just hidden in one of the other accessories. He comes with two arm gauntlets to match his attire. I took these off because I have heard that they have been staining. Look at the spikes. I don't like the paint job on the spikes so much. You can kind of see like the airbrush or whatever on the side. If I can get that to focus. Can't get it to focus. But the splatter paint does look pretty insane. Along with the gauntlets, he has the entrance jacket, robe, whatever you want to describe it as. It has these spikes on it as well. I say this is based off the Road Warriors, but primarily based off the Nasty Boys with the splatter paint on there. The really cool custom skull that he had made. It's his logo, but he had it made like altered for this specific attire. It just looks so good. The reason these figures had to shoot up to the $75 price point is because of the paint applications, and they're pretty insane. It also does not really like click close. It kind of like, you see the molding there. It kind of fits in there with the back of the MC, but it does not hold. So maybe the smallest little bit of a sticky tack will keep that in place if that is something that you are concerned about. But I'm going to be displaying him. I don't know. I might put the cloak back on him. We'll see when I decide how I'm going to display him. He comes with the smiling head, which we see on the figure. He comes with the smirking head that we saw with the first release as well. And then he comes with a screaming tongue out head. Now, I don't know about you guys, but the eyes look to be too close on this head. So if you put the glasses that he comes with on this figure, if I can get those to sit right. That's sitting right for the most part. It looks so much better because you don't see how close they are. And the glasses have that splatter paint continued onto the side there. Looks really cool. I told you, he comes with a lot of accessories, which Super7 is really good about, but they do lack in other departments. We will talk about that, of course. As far as the last accessory he comes with, it is the Internet Championship. The detail is really nice on here. It has the Always Ready on this side, has Matt Cardona on this side, Internet Champion, the two MC logos, and the skull logo that we know. And it looks really, really good. It is an updated version of his old school Internet Championship that had the like social media logos on there. But this would be fine. And, and they even got the purple back, which is accurate to the belt. This would be fine if we did not have a chance to get the Forbidden figurines. And as you see, they are night and day. This is on real leather. It looks so much better. It's not even close. And this has a nice shine to it. This one is a flat paint, but that's fine. That is fine. The Forbidden Figurines one is more of a display, but if you are somebody that's looking to play with your figures, this would be a better option. It also has the Matt Cardona logo, the MC, on the little end of the belt there. But my only issue is that this does not really close well as much as the other Super 7 figures that we got from New Japan. Like, and sitting here, I can't even, like, the pegs are way too big for the holes, which is good because it's not going to fall out once it's in there. But if you can't get it in there, it doesn't really matter. So if you can find the Forbidden Figurines version, which you could probably find in his Facebook group from somebody wanting to sell it, you're going to pay a premium, but it is definitely probably worth it if you are a big fan of him. As far as the figure itself, he did get a massive tan overhaul. He always calls himself as the Cardona tan. He likes to compare it to Hulk Hogan and stuff like that. This is the tan of the first figure, and that is the tan of the second figure. Obviously, they are way different. These heads will pop on Mattel figures if you're looking for customs. I cannot think of a Mattel skin tone that will match this version. Also, the chest hair and stomach hair got a massive overhaul. You see here, it is, I mean, it's visible, but it's not as prominent. Whereas nowadays, he has all that going on. I will say this though, on the new release, it does still have the same issue that we saw in this hand here, where there are, technically speaking, 6 fingers on this hand. You have like the fist, and it's like they added the 1 to it, because you can see between the thumb and the middle finger, there's a finger in between there. So that is weird, but I guess they didn't have to do a new mold. Everything on this is pretty much reuse, except for the belt and the gauntlets and the coat and the, yeah. Okay, so the heads and the hands are all the same except for the middle finger. But I do think there's a night and day difference between Series 1 and Series 2. And you know what? We'll go ahead and put Series 1 in the back. Let's take a look at this attire. Now, holy crap, this... I remember I was opening up this with my buddy Peter at Dog Pound Wrestling, and we were like, oh my god, he is tan. And we always talk about how pale the Jazzwares figures are. So if we take a run-of-the-mill Jazzwares figure, let's take Jack Perry here, because it's the only one I have sitting very, very close to me. And they all look very, very pale. They look sickly. So if we take him and put him up next to the new Matt Cardona, one dude looks like he spent way too much time out in the sun, and the other one looks sick. So, as far as scaling, I will show you guys how he looks up next to a Mattel figure and another Jazzwares figure at the end. But for the attire, he does have the wrist tape, which he has on the Series 1 there. But this is, once again, his Nasty Boys inspired gear. It really looks good. Super 7 really struggles in their articulation. I can't even get... The torso is stuck. Oh, that didn't sound good. It moves now, but it's really tight. The articulation sucks. If you're looking for a figure to just put on display, yeah, if you're going to be posing this for figure feds or even photography, it's going to be a little difficult. But the attire is just, it's so clean, so nice. One of his more recognizable. He has the always ready in the green and the white on the back. Looks so good. Coming down to the AMA knee pads that he has, or the knee wraps, it has the MC logo on there. Has the MC logo on his actual knee pads, which those are removable if you pop the boots off. And no, you can't even pop the boots off. Huh. Because, I know how I did it. So, I took the Super 7 knee pads off my Okada, but I broke the legs in order to get it off, because you cannot remove those, because there's no pins here, and there's no boot articulation. That is molded together. So, you cannot use those unless you want to break a figure, and it's a $75 figure. But it does have the MC logo on the boots. This is the exact same sculpt as the first time around, just way better paint application. Does it have that? Yeah, it has that that strap down there at the bottom. It is such a solid looking figure though, but it's definitely one of your more tan figures. I don't even know. Let me grab a Hulk Hogan so you guys can see what this looks like. All right, so I got Hulk Hogan, and here is how he looks up next to probably my favorite Hulk Hogan figure, which is the Coliseum collection. So Hogan's taller, so Cardona does scale well with others, but look at that tan comparison. Jesus Christ. This is one tan son of a gun. But like I said, he does scale very well. Obviously, he is going to scale with the Super 7 Myers from Series 1, because I did not get Series 2, and those look very, very nice together, even though Myers is so much more pale than him, which is accurate. Let's go ahead and remove the Series 1 from the picture. Here he is up next to Chelsea Green Elite 108. I think this scales very, very well together. You guys saw that in the thumbnail. I like that. I think these figures look really good beside each other on the shelf. Except now I feel Chelsea's figure is a little too pale compared to Matt's. And then as far as another Mattel figure, let's throw Triple H up here for the height comparison. I like that. Cardona's tall, but he's not like otherworldly tall, you know? he is a fairly above average height in wrestling. And then for a Jazzwares comparison, let's go ahead and compare him to somebody that is part of the major wrestling figure podcast world. Let's compare him to Danhausen. And I like the scale of these two with each other as well. I think that looks very good. And I think this Matt Cardona will fit very nice in your display. Like I said, if you're going for overall look and appeal, Super 7 is a really, really strong way to go. But if you're looking for articulation and custom use, Super 7 is not the way to do it. This figure is beautiful. I do recommend it. If you can find it close to retail, which is that 75, do it. But the first figures had 5,000 plus of each made. If I'm not mistaken, there are 888 of this one made. So what you got to do is you got to get your hands on this. You got to get some of those Forbidden Figurines titles to really and truly complete the look and have your top of the line Matt Cardona. Whether you love him or hate him, you got to admit the dude's tearing it up on the indies, and this is a solid figure. For him to be able to strike a deal with Super 7 is insane. But that is going to be it for today's review. As always, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and last but not least, take it easy.